Running injuries are absolutely the worst, so I wanted to take a chance to see if I could demystify them a little bit and better explain how and why they oftentimes appear out of nowhere. An article in 2017 by Bertelsen et al. Actually gives us a nice, clear framework that better explains how running injuries appear and where they come from. It really comes down to two main factors. One of those factors is load, and the second is capacity. Load is more external versus capacity is much more internal. Load is essentially the external force or strain that we place on our bodies every single time that we go out to run. A lot of different factors can impact the overall load. A runner's weight can increase or decrease load. A runner's foot strike can affect the load. Even the amount of miles or the intensity that a runner may run can affect the overall load that is placed on a runner's body. Capacity amounts to internally the amount of strain or load that our body structures can tolerate. And this means our body structures in terms of our muscles, tendons, ligaments, bones. A lot of different things can affect our overall capacity. An increase in frequency of runs or an increase in intensity is going to decrease our overall capacity just because of the fatigue that develops because of that. Versus doing proper recovery can help to actually increase our overall capacity. Different things in terms of like how much sleep that we get, how much nutrition that we are getting. All of those different things can increase capacity and therefore increase the amount of load that we can tolerate. So as you can see, if we look at a graph of capacity, we can see that capacity really ebbs and flows throughout a given training cycle. It's going to decrease when we do hard workouts just because of the amount of fatigue that we have created in our system. However, when we do proper recovery, it's going to increase as well. And so if we manage capacity appropriately over time and over a training cycle, it's going to gradually increase. Capacity and load kind of have an inverse or opposite relationship. As load increases, our capacity decreases because once again, all of the fatigue that we are developing because of that increase in load. However, when we recover and decrease our overall load, our capacity increases as a result of that. As long as load stays under our capacity, we really decrease our risk of developing a running injury, simply because our body can tolerate all of the load that we are placing on ourselves. Unfortunately, the opposite also holds true. So from this graph, instead of recovering, this specific runner just continues to increase their load, and as load increases, capacity decreases. Now our overall load is well above our body's capacity. So this is going to overall increase the overall injury risk for this particular runner. Now, just because load all of a sudden does go up over capacity, doesn't necessarily mean right away we're gonna suffer an injury. However, if we keep this pattern long enough, it increases the chances that we are going to experience an injury or maybe even an illness. So understanding this balance and relationship between capacity and load is really paramount to understanding how running injuries can develop and how we can stay away from them. A really good training plan or training build is going to take this relationship into account and always try to keep capacity well above load. There are so many different intricate details that can affect this balance as well. So if it feels like this is something that you're struggling with, I highly recommend talking to a physical therapist or coach to help you piece these different components apart and help you find balance between capacity and load. Thanks everyone for joining on. I hope this helps to demystify running injuries a little bit more. As always, feel free to like, subscribe, and share with whomever you think may find this information useful. Until the next time, happy and healthy training.